Hello everyone! Welcome back. We are still talking about characters this week, and today we're going to be doing a bubble map just like yesterday, but with a character from a story that I will read to you. This is a really great story. It is called Voting for Her Rights by Winnie Lujack. And it's historical fiction. So remember, we're thinking about characters, what they're like, their traits, how they're feeling, what their actions are, what they do in this story, and what's the last one? Let's look at our bubble map, and their motivations, what they want. All right, let's go ahead and read Voting for Her Rights. Susan B. Anthony was about to do something dangerous. She stood before a group of women listening to her speak. "We must vote," she told them. "We must all vote." The crowded room filled with noise as some women cheered and others began to argue. "We could be arrested," one woman cried. It was true, because in 1872, only men had the right to vote. Women were not allowed to vote. Susan said, "We likely will be arrested and put on trial. But don't you see? We have to do it. How else will we show how much we want our voting rights?" Susan marched off the stage and led the women outside. Together, they went to a polling place where men were voting for president. An election worker stopped Susan. "Madam," he said, "I can't let you vote." "But you must," Susan replied. "The law says that all persons born in this country are citizens, and citizens are allowed to vote." The worker looked at the group of determined women and sighed. "Very well," he said. Susan's friends let out a cheer. Susan entered the voting booth and cast her vote. So did 15 other women, including 3 of Susan's sisters. 2 weeks later, Susan and the others were all arrested for voting. But Susan wasn't about to give up her fight for women's rights. All right, so Susan B. Anthony was a real person in history. She was a suffragette. And I hope I am spelling this right. I will come back and make sure that I spelled this right later. But she was a suffragette, which meant that she fought for women's rights. Especially to vote. Fought for women's rights to vote. That's just a cool word I want you guys to know. And just an important thing to think about is that this was so that white women could vote. Black and brown women and indigenous women were not able to vote, not for a while after that. So this was just for white women, but white women did eventually get the right to vote first. I believe it was in 1920. Anyways, let's keep going. Okay, so our character, who is a real person in history, is Susan B. Anthony. And today, as your seesaw work, you're going to be thinking about her motivations. That one's easy. What did Susan want? What did she want? You're going to fill that one out. Some traits. What are some things about Susan? How does she feel? And what are some things she does? So I will be filling out traits and actions for you guys. So if I see something really strange or weird or different on your seesaw work, I'll know you didn't watch the video. But let's go ahead and talk about traits. I think some traits to talk about Susan B. Anthony would be determined. She was determined. She was a fighter. I would say she was strong. Okay? And as for actions, some things she did, she fought for the right to vote. And she did vote illegally. Voted illegally and was arrested. She was not allowed to vote. And she did anyways. Because well-behaved women rarely make history. All right, she got arrested. They brought her to jail for that. She was not allowed to vote. So again, you will be filling out what she wanted. It's a little bit Don't get too deep in this, okay? Pretty easy. What did she want? I think you know. And how did she feel about this? You could say she was mad. You could say she was frustrated, anything like that. How do you think Susan B. Anthony was feeling in this story? All right, so you will be filling out motivations, feelings, and obviously you will also fill out traits and actions, but you'll have to remember them from the video. And we are just going to keep talking about characters this week, and I hope you enjoyed our story today.